G'day, I'm Uncle Hodge, and this is the Meathead Marksman channel. Today, on this episode of The Quiet Rifle, we are making a DIY cheap-ass little scope cam setup. That's right, we're doing arts and crafts. Right, so step one, measure your ocular lens, that one there. Basically, it's going to be made out of a few little bits and pieces that I've gone out and bought, so that's the main setup of it there. It's just a PVC end cap, a piece of hose and a hose clamp or two. You might need more, but just measure up your ocular lens there and make sure that the inside diameter of the hose is the same or slightly smaller or slightly bigger. Probably within 1mm should be fine. Grab a couple of hose clamps and an end cap that fits over the piece of hose you're going to buy. You're also going to need some of these. These are small flathead or flat topped screws. They're going to go through an old phone case so that we can mount our Samsung S9 onto the back of our scope and get some sweet slow-mo scope cam goodness. So I've measured it, so hopefully it fits. We'll do a little dummy fit. Alright, so piece of silicone hose from Autobarn. This was about $6. Don't need stickers on there anymore. See if it fits. Very nice, does fit. A little bit loose, but when the time comes we'll just whack one of these bad boys on there and tighten it down so it doesn't flop around. It should be perfect. We've got two options for the end cap. This is a 50mm, this is a 40mm. The 40mm one fits inside and it fits in there very snugly, but the 50mm fits over the end, so I'm not sure if I want to go 50mm over the end of the tube or 40mm inside. I think we might go with the 50mm on the outside just so that we can get closer eye relief if need be. That might be the go. Alright, so the next step is to drill out a hole in the middle of your cap that you're going to use and mount it centrally over the little camera hole there, so that it ends up looking something like that. So our little logo in there should probably give us an idea of where we need to be, but let's go over to the drill press, punch a hole in it and see how we go. Right in the middle there. Alright, that's what we'll aim for then. We're on! We're on! Okay, that worked out pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. Next step, I suppose we'll chuck our phone in our little cheap case. Not going to ruin my nice $100 LifeProof case. Use the little clear cheap one that comes with it. Take note of where the camera is. Set up your PVC around it. Looks like it'll fit nicely on there. We'll just see if our hole's big enough. I'll open up the camera app. Here we go. As you can see, we've got our ring on one side and an unobstructed camera on the other side, so that's good, that's perfect. Fine with that, I think. We'll trace around it with our pen, bust out the old Sharpie. Sweet. Alright, so we'll take the phone out, drill a couple of holes through it, mount it with those little screws, and we'll be in business. These are 4G by 12. If you guys are looking to buy the same thing that I am, 4G by 12 timber screws. They have a flat face on them, so that's what you're after. We'll just compare that with our teensy weensy drill bit. Alright. Alright. Time Time to push a couple of screws through. Smaller screwdriver. And one more for the Queen. Alright, see how we did. Oh, that's upside down. Looking pretty minty. Happy with that. So that's lined up nicely. That worked out rather well. This is much easier than I thought it was going to be. So I suppose from here we'll just test fit our bits and pieces, chuck it on the rifle and see how we go. We'll get the eye relief right before we clamp it on down. Sweet, let's go out and have a look. Looks like we're a little off centre. Ah, looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. See how the horses feel about it. It's a little grainy and pixelated. Where you going, buddy? Having fun mowing my lawn? Seems to be very overexposed. I may have to figure something out for that. Proof of concept though. Oh yeah, get a bit of zoom in, bit of autofocus. Wonderful, wonderful. Right, so it worked pretty well, but the screws that I've put in there, I've kind of slapped them in there a little bit willy-nilly. They're actually touching the tube, so I'm going to reposition them, and I'm also going to reinforce this because it's a little bit floppy. I'm going to put a piece of PVC plastic, big square, and then put the screws on and hopefully make it a bit more rigid. So that's the plan now. Good enough. This is just a big piece of PVC. Get it from your local hardware store or whatever. Very handy for making this stuff. Very handy. Alternatively, you could just buy a hard phone case, but you know, whatever. Still no obstruction. Sweet as. And now our silicone tube can go all the way in. Lovely. Much more solid than before with that backing plate on. Time to grind these sharp little pointy bits off. Alright, still got a few little pointy bits on the back there. I may end up taping that up with some gaff tape or something, I don't know. Dodgy, but it works. Feels nice and solid, so let's go and try it out on the rifle, see how she goes. Looks horrendously overexposed. But appears to be working. Got to go get my hose clamp. Ah! Looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. So, it would seem if you use the Pro mode, you can use the manual focus and it doesn't shift around and jump off the crosshairs. So that's a good thing to remember. If you are doing this with a smartphone, you need to use your professional mode and turn off the autofocus. Cool beans. Alright, so there you have it with a few bits and pieces lying around your house and a few extra little bits and bobs from the hardware store. You can make yourself a cheap phone video scope cam thing. So, there you have it. If you liked the video, gently tickle that like button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.